Hey everyone, it's Michael GoosebumpsFan. Today I'm going to be talking about the Season 2, Episode 13 episode of the Goosebumps 90s TV show. This is an adaptation of the 6th book in the franchise of the old classic 62-book series, Let's Get Invisible. Now I have it, as a matter of fact, on a DVD that is shared with Attack of the Jack-O-Lanterns, the TV episode, and Vampire Breath. So I have it right here on this, and Let's Get Invisible was pretty good as a TV episode. It wasn't amazing, but it was enough of something I think it would have scared me when I was a kid if I had seen this. Not that it was terrifying imagery or anything, but there was a lot of jump scares that actually kind of worked. One of them at the very beginning actually got me. I'm sad to say. I'm a 25-year-old man and Goosebumps frightened me. The TV show, at least. The books do sometimes, but the TV show, not very often. I'm ashamed to admit that. But anyway, Season 2, Episode 13. This actually premiered on November 2nd, 1996, which was 5 days before my 2nd birthday. Wow. I'm old, man. Where to start with this? It's kind of the same exact concept as the book, except for the birthday party stuff, except for the rainy weather stuff. It's pretty much a bunch of kids hanging out at the main character and his brother Lefty. Well, his name is Noah here, just like it was in the book, but in the book they always make reference to him as Lefty because he's left-handed. That's kind of his nickname, is Lefty. Here he's just called Noah all the time. But the main character and his brother and a couple of friends are hanging out in the house, and they happen to find a secret compartment type of thing, a boarded up room upstairs that happens to have this giant mirror inside of it. And above the mirror there's actually a light that has a pull chain on it. When you pull that light, or that chain, it actually makes a really bright light come out of that little light bulb area, even though the actual mirror is unplugged. There's no way that there should be a power source to this. When you pull the chain, there's a bright flash. Whoever was pulling the chain and happened to be standing in front of the mirror, the glass, actually turns invisible and can't be seen. And like many Goosebumps TV episodes that are adaptations of the book, not all of them are like two-parters, like Not a Living Dummy 3 or the Monster Blood two-parter, which isn't really two-parter, but it kind of is. This is a 20-minute episode adaptation of a 140-page long book, and it's not enough time, in my opinion. I think for the most part it's well done for what it was. I don't know who actually directed this. If it was somebody who had done a bunch of other previous episodes. It was Ron Oliver. I'm not sure if I know much about Mr. Ron Oliver directing anything from Goosebumps. Maybe I'll try to look back really quick, see what I can find on IMDb. But, if I can find something. Okay, what did he do? 16 different episodes. Welcome to Camp Nightmare Part 1 and 2. Say Cheese and Die. He did Not a Living Dummy 2. Let's Get Invisible. How to Kill a Monster. Vampire Breath. The Perfect School Part 1 and Part 2. Werewolf Skin Part 1 and Part 2. Say Cheese and Die Again. How I Got My Shrunken Head Part 1 and Part 2. And Cry the Cat Part 1 and Part 2. So this guy, Ron Oliver, did a pretty hefty amount of Goosebumps TV episode adaptations. That's pretty cool. This is fine for what it was. It's above average, I would say. The biggest problem is, like many of these TV adaptations that are only 20 minutes long of these big old long books, or at least bigger for kid age books, 20 minutes is not enough time to adapt this, so there's a lot of choppy, sloppy editing, stuff that I wouldn't mess up. And then of course it had the lowest budget ever, not just the episode but the Goosebumps TV show in general, so you have moments towards the finale of the episode that is just filled with CGI that YouTubers are doing better CGI than that. It was like less than 20 years ago. Well, I guess right at 20 years ago. Maybe closer to 25 years ago. Anyway, people on YouTube are doing better CGI than what was done here. Better Photoshop than what's done here. I do think it's kind of cool when you see little details. Like in here, at one point, the main character, he was playing baseball, came home from school to see his friends upstairs in the attic messing with the mirror. And he's wearing his baseball hat, and it's actually a G, but it's the Goosebumps G. Like the weird, gooey-looking mess of a G. It's yellow instead of green, but still, I thought it was a cool little detail. I happened to pick up on that. I notice things sometimes. It was okay. The TV episode doesn't hold a candle to how great the book was. I just read the book and finished it tonight, whatever, and it was fantastic. It was fantastic. So close to being like a perfect scored book. I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars at the time, and I really loved it. I really think it's a great creepy atmospheric book, especially in that finale. The finale was really, really spooky with some of the things that happened there. The TV episode doesn't adapt that well. It kind of ruins the picture I had in my head of the finale of the book. So, the book, easily, in many cases compared to the TV episodes, is 100% better, in my opinion. Easily. No questions asked. But the TV episode isn't a complete loss. I'm glad I own it. I'm glad I have a copy of it so I can watch it sometime. It ain't perfect, but it's pretty good. It's pretty good for what it is. It was suitable. It was fine, you know? I didn't love it, and I certainly didn't hate it by any means. And it kind of, even for a Goosebumps TV episode, it kind of had some spooky atmosphere to it at times. It just wasn't amazing, you know? It's one of those fine episodes. It was just one of those regular Goosebumps episodes, kind of like The Perfect School, Part 1 and Part 2, that are just fine. I don't really have any issues with it whatsoever. Why did The Perfect School get 2 parts, and this got 1? You know? I don't know. Anyway, when it comes to Let's Get Invisible, the TV episode adaptation thing from the old TV Goosebumps show, if I had to rate this on a 5-star basis, I'm trying to mix up the adaptation problems, not like things that are left out or anything, but like just the struggles with that I know had to have been there to shrink that story down to like 20 pages. Then try to do that and also factor in the issues with like CGI and stuff, but also the good parts too that are in here. If I had to rate it, I'd give it like a high 3 out of 5 stars. It's really good for what it is. Kids will be eerie, creeped out, I guess, by it. I think in some respect. If I had seen this when I was a kid, I know myself well enough, I think it would have freaked me out. I don't know about kids nowadays, though, that would be like 10 or so years old, because they've seen so many things, they've heard so many things online with creepypastas or anything. They aren't fazed by things like Goosebumps a lot of the time. But younger children, like 5, 6, 7, 8, this is probably going to get to them, depending on how sheltered they are. Anyway, when it comes to Let's Get Invisible, I recommend the book tremendously. The TV episode is fine. If you're on a marathon, I think you'll enjoy it. If you're just checking it out like I was for the first time after reading the book for the first time, it's kind of disappointing, but it's not horrendous. You know, it's okay. It's okay. Anyway, what are your thoughts on this episode? Put your thoughts in comments down below. Do you love the book? Do you hate the book? Do you love the TV episode? Do you hate the TV episode? What do you think? I'd love to hear everything you have to say down below, especially about your thoughts on my review, whether you agree with me, whether you disagree with me. I even thought there were some moments that the music wasn't that great in this episode, you know? And the dad at one point even makes a joke about hormones. That was weird for a 90s Canadian scary show for kids. Whatever. Anyway, put your thoughts down below, guys. I'd love to hear what you have to say. Thank you for watching. May the Lord Jesus Christ bless you guys today, and goodbye.